What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about three different stocks today. We'll be going over Beyond and SIRI for Diesel Killer. We're going to be finishing it up with NVIDIA, NVDA for Algreat 81 or Algreat, AI Great. I think it's Algreat. Anyways, from top to bottom here, you're looking very weak. You're looking very, very weak, actually. You couldn't even get to your 236 here. Couldn't even get it there. Man, very, very weak price action, in my opinion. Still decent volume coming in for this move down, so I do think you have lower to go. Let's just see where you are on a macro fib extension basis. We'll get into the short-term nitty-gritty stuff in a second, but I just want to talk about this. Yeah. Probably the 2618 down at around like 420 to 410, somewhere around there is where I think you're going. Let's see if anything lines up with this low to high here. Come on now. Come on now. 1414 right there, man. That 1414 just keeps coming up. Man, I had somebody try and talk smack about the 1414 at one point, and it's like, dude, I'm telling you, that thing, it's not the most common, but it's been showing its head a lot lately for some reason. Like this past year. 886 hit that. Hit the 100. Oh, wow. 2272 right there. Yeah, I really do think you're going to about $4, just above it. If you go just below that, like I would say $4 to 420 is probably likely where you're going to go. Let's look at the RSI, rejecting the 50, not looking too good. You probably see the oversold zone. Maybe you get some bullish divergence. You start to form. Maybe you're finally finding a bottom. It's not time, in my opinion, to get into this just yet, but you're getting there. You're at $7.05 right now. Man, I would open up some puts. It looks like it's going to make a more or less straight line down there. You're probably going to go down for like the next couple months, in my opinion. But it might be a good time to go long on this thing. Just saying. I might open up some call options, man. I don't mess. I know that I've talked about that a lot with like CLSK, my calls and my puts, but I really don't do that often, man. Like I've made 2 margin trades in the past like 2 years. Like I really don't do it often, man. I really don't. But I would kind of consider with this. This looks like really nice structure to the downside, and I do expect that you'll see the end of it soon at some point. Looking at the daily, yeah, it looks like it's weak. Rejected off the green line here. I'll just say, I'm going to see you at $4 to $4.20. I'm going to leave it at that. So that's Beyond. Let's move on to Siri here. Move Beyond to Siri. Sirius XM. I didn't actually know that they were a public company. That's cool. Let's see. Man, I don't know. I don't like this. I really don't like this. I like this. I don't like that. Man, that's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's ugly. It's very ugly. It looks like it wants to like round out and dump down, in my genuine opinion. You're like, I don't know what to call that. It's just very boring. You absolutely could continue to move up, but it's just so weird looking. I don't like it on a monthly basis. I'm gonna zoom in and just see if we can get some more immediate stuff. This chart's giving me bad vibes, man. Like bad vibes, as in like you're probably gonna go back below $1 at some point. That's my genuine opinion. I would just stay away from this one, man. Or open up some put options, like a long-term, like multi-year or at least a year out put options. They'll probably pay off well. But it's hard to decipher. It's so neutral. I don't really have an opinion. The dividends, look at that. Hey, you got some dividends. Not that well like of a payoff, though, are they? On a daily basis, the RSI, to me, I would say it looks like you want to go down from here, but do you form a higher low? Maybe, probably. You kind of have these higher lows and higher highs forming right now. Maybe you do continue to work your way upwards a little bit, but I doubt. Like if we're looking at this for what it is, I doubt you get above $8. You probably, maybe you move up to $7, $6.80 again, something like that, and then you continue to move down. But I don't like it. I really don't like it. I personally have I would say that there's no interest in buying this thing until it's like back around 63 cents, maybe $1. If not, like way lower than that even. I don't like this. It's ugly. I don't know what to do with this thing, man. It's actually like a genuine head scratcher. And for the time being, I would think that it comes down a little bit more. But then I don't know if that's like the absolute like high before it continues to like descend to new lows. Though it could be, because what you did is you found resistance right here on the previous area of support. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? I don't know. I don't like it. I wouldn't buy it here, and I probably wouldn't give it any attention for years, like years, man, unless you're trying to short it. But I don't recommend doing that, you know, to too many people. If you know what you're doing, go for it. But even if you know what you're doing, man, you know, you're playing a risky game there. The most risk comes from margin and leveraged positions. That's why, like, really, if you do it, if that's something you want to do, use a percent. Use at the most 5% of your portfolio. I know it sounds ridiculous, but dude, if you make a killing on that, you could double your portfolio on something that, like, just doesn't happen often. Like it's margin and leverage, man. It's a quicker way to lose money than it is to make money. It seems like this fantasy. It seems like this romantic idea that you're gonna be able to make money really quickly. But the thing is like the ugly truth of it is you can just lose money really, really quickly. And unless you have very, like, deliberate take profits in very short amount of time frames, or like you can accept a loss whenever it comes your way, which most people just don't have the wherewithal for that. Like it's not for you, man. I don't know. I would stay away from this thing is really all I'm trying to say. I would just stay away from that. If anything, maybe some long-term puts, but that's really about it. I definitely wouldn't go short or long. I wouldn't use any leverage positions. But NVIDIA looking great as always, man. My one of my grandfathers holds this thing, and it's up 3% this week. Nice. It's at all-time highs, man. Like, what can you say? It's beautiful. You know, with this kind of pattern, the way that it looks, it's almost like a it's not a bull flag, but it's kind of like this is a bullish diamond, right? Like a diamond top. You can see it, right? Kind of like here. If I can draw it. I can't really draw it, man. It's because the magnet's on. Hold on, let me take the magnet off. Let's see. Something like this. No. I'm really trying here, man. Something like that. I don't know. It's kind of like a diamond. I guess that's a pentagon. I don't know. Maybe it's not a diamond, but nonetheless, I would expect that you do continue growing. As crazy as that sounds, you do have decent volume. You actually had above average volume 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and this week you also have above average volume. Let's look and see what the RSI is telling us. Yeah, I think you keep growing, man. Maybe you pull back. Maybe you do pull back all the way. Like that's a huge drop. You could pull back all the way down to about $500. You know, I don't know if it's a good time to buy in now. I don't know if it's a good time to sell though. Maybe just one of those kind of wait and see how things go. If it comes lower, maybe add more to it or something like that. If you're curious to do that. Very hot on the daily RSI. Very, very hot. You've been hotter though, but you are in a range. Like if we put a line right here at where you're at now, right? You found resistance in here time and time again. Like truthfully, you don't go too much higher than this, you know. But let's look at that. Let's look at like one of those examples right there. Here, man, all the way back down here. So this right here, this little peak here. Look at how much higher you went, right? You were already pretty overbought, like right here on the 7th. Okay, that was this day. I'm gonna zoom in here for you. On the 7th, you were up, come on now, 42% in a day. But then you continued to grow. You had a 17% day after that, and then you topped it off with a 26% day. You know, you absolutely continued to grow more. If we go back, you know, over to here, you know, here you topped off right at this line, but you still continued to grow afterwards. Here you hit this line right here, and again you continue to grow. Here you were in like November 29th of 2004. You continued to grow until March of 2025 before you found a significant high to like really pull back. Here you kind of meandered, kind of a one-off there, not really the same thing, but gave you a second opportunity to sell the highs, you know, whatever. Here, again, one of those you just continue to grow over time. So, and I'm sure that it's like that for most of this stuff. Yeah. Like here when you're at the peak in this RSI, let alone where you are in this line right now, which is probably like right about here on this day, you absolutely continue to grow for about a month afterwards, a little bit under a month afterwards actually. So nonetheless, what I'm trying to get to is I'm not going to go through every single example that we have here, but I bet you I don't think this is the all-time high, regardless of if it pulls back to $500. If it pulls back to $600, $570, whatever, and I would kind of expect that you see a pullback because you're at that area. If you continue to grow, it's only going to be for like another week or so. If you're unstopped and you just keep growing, it's going to be for another week or so, probably less than a week, up to a week, I would say. But then you're probably going to pull back. You know, this again, I really do I feel like this is a diamond top, although it doesn't look like perfect. I feel like it is. I'm gonna try and get this here. It's some kind of, maybe I wasn't drawing it right before, like this, you know. It's a parallelogram top, but diamond tops are known for their volatility. They break out, they pull back to the point of break, and then they continue. They're known for that kind of wig-wag. It's actually very common. So don't be surprised if that happens, but I don't anticipate this as a top, actually. And I'm spending so much time on this because I do think it's going to go higher. I haven't gotten to where I think it's going to go yet. Let's actually put the magnet back on and see top to bottom here. Yeah, 1618's at $711. You absolutely could go even higher than that. You might be testing prices above $900, around $1,000 by the end of this move. Absolutely you could, genuinely speaking. That's a very strong monthly RSI, man. Very, very strong. And you do have some pretty severe bearish divergence, man. That is not a friendly look, to be completely fair. But you don't normally see it go past 3 drives. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drives here, so it's probably fine, in my genuine opinion. Let's just see real quick before I end this video for what you've been doing. You know, whenever you top, you find your bottom here. How long after your bottom, if I can get it right on there, there we go, did it take to find your top? 35 bars. Here you were at your bottom here. I mean, obviously longer than that, 71 bars. Kind of hard to say. Bottom till you found your like top. Maybe we could say this is the immediate top. That was 13 bars, but I don't know. This all looks like one move to me. This is more of like a bear market phase here. 27 bars, where that was like a major shakeout nonetheless. Let's see. 38 bars. 31 bars. I mean, this could be longer. You know, it could have been 60 bars, something like that. Depends, 38 to 60 bars. Right now, you're only at 15 bars. Out of any of these examples, like, you have longer to go. And NVIDIA is not stopping here. That's my genuine opinion. Maybe it takes a back seat for a month or 2 or 3, but this is definitely not the all-time. Like, it might be an all-time high for a season, but it's going to move up probably towards $1,000, like, genuinely speaking. That's my genuine thoughts. But in the immediate term, don't be surprised if it pulls back. What would a common retracement be for this thing? Come on now, low to where the current high is, assuming that that is the high. Let me look at the daily real quick. That could be the high, but man, you really could move up higher. You might pull back to like 530, 525, 530, 520, something like that. And then go up higher. Maybe you pull back to 562. This is a very strong movement right here. You could hold the 236, though. I wouldn't anticipate that, but probably somewhat of a sizable pullback before you continue to move higher. And if you do move higher, I doubt it's going to be too much more. But as we've seen before, even when you were at these levels, you've had days where you moved up 26%, 16%, and then followed by another 26% day after that. So you could have more oomph left in you. You know, your 1618 again. Come on now, top to bottom here. Or no, that's your 1886 right there. I think I was looking at this more long-term one. Yeah, this one here. Your 1618 right here is at $711. So maybe you do push to $700 before you see that correction. But nonetheless, I think it's coming soon. I don't think it's a good time to get in. I think a good time will present itself, and it'll probably be lower than the current prices are, even if it goes up from here. So just be patient. If you're looking to sell, you know, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're looking to sell, you're at all-time highs. It's not a bad time to take profits, but I think if you were patient also, even if it does pull back, you're going to be able to sell at higher prices. That's my genuine opinion. Though, to be completely fair, you are literally right at this relative 1886 right here. So bit of this, bit of that for NVIDIA. That's all I got for you guys. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.